Good morning, Cindy here. And today I thought I would take you along with me while I do some spring gardening chores. It is absolutely beautiful outside. It's going to be in the low 80s today. It's perfect time to garden and the perfect time to get things planted. So I am going to spread a little bit of mulch. I am excited about some hanging baskets. Let me show you. I found these super tunias, and I'm always on the lookout for super tunias because they can take the intense heat as long as you don't let them dry out. And so I've got some on both sides of my porch, and I just think they're perfect for Easter. I have a few little Easter bunnies out, and my spring flowers are just glorious. And so I do also need to do a little work. So follow along with me today as we do some spring garden chores. So I wanted to show you how beautiful my walkway is up to the front door. So this is ground cover that I have all on both sides of the walkway. And, normally it is just evergreen. Even through the wintertime, it stays green. But in the summer, we get an extra special show. So this hot pink here, right here, the hot pink is a sedum, and you just have to look. There's so many different kinds of sedum, but look and see what color their spring flower is. And then the dark purple right here, this is ajuga, and in the spring you get this gorgeous dark purple. And then this is creeping phlox, and that's kind of a lighter purple. And I just can't get over how gorgeous it blooms every spring. And it's perennial, it comes back every year. I don't do a thing. I just make sure I never let it completely dry out, even in the wintertime. Because if you let things go completely dry, then you can lose things. All right, and let's look at the pots up by my house. So about a month ago, I put these containers together, and I put in some Cape daisies and lobelia, some dianthus in white, and some ivy. And I repeated that on the other side. And it's just such a cheery container when you walk up to the front door. And I stuck a bunny in it for Easter. And then here we have the uh, typical wax leaf begonia with a cute little bunny sticking out. So I'm all ready for Easter. Now, one of my first garden chores is I pulled my ferns out of the garage. Finally, they are so happy to be out of the garage, and they've been over on the side of the house, kind of getting acclimated to the sun. I've had them in a fairly shady location, but now they're fully in full view on the front porch, and it's time for me to fertilize them, and I will show you how I'm going to do that. And let's take a quick look at the wonderful super tunias. These are bubblegum variety. Aren't they gorgeous? So one of the first things we're going to do is fertilize my ferns. I have a foxtail fern here, and I have a couple of just Boston ferns on the front porch, and they love this Epsom salt, which is also called magnesium sulfate. And so I just put in a big tablespoon per gallon, and this is a 2-gallon watering can. So I'm going to put in 2, and you need to really stir it because it does take a while to dissolve. So I've got a spoon here, big old wooden spoon, and I'll stir it for a good minute, and then I will pour it over my ferns, and you should see some green growth fairly quickly. They just love it. So if you've watched any of my past videos, you know I love these bougainvillea. They sit out in my rock garden close to the street, and they have been in the garage throughout the winter, and they've been sitting right here for the last month, waiting till they looked prettier because they lost every leaf in the garage and they looked almost dead. But they've come back. They're nice and bushy, and they're telling me that they're ready for some fertilizer. So I love the Nelson's Bougainvillea plant food. It's just exactly what it needs. It's a 17-7-10, so very high in the nitrogen for these plants. And it says on the label that you give them about 2 tablespoons each, and I have already done that. So I have them mulched because they sit in the hot sun, and I want to keep that moisture in there. But what I do is I remove the mulch, these big handfuls of the shredded cedar, and then I just put in a tablespoon, sprinkle a tablespoon on each side, kind of work it in, give them a good drink, and then put this mulch right back on top. And I did this about 2 days ago, and they already look fabulous. And I have so much new growth on them. And very soon, some of those will start turning into those beautiful pink flowers. I can't wait. So I'm in the backyard now, and I have lots and lots of chores to do back here. But I wanted to point out this garden here to the left. Let me get a little closer, and I'll show you what a nice surprise I've had. Last year, I planted sunflowers and zinnias, and it was just really fun and pretty. Well, look what's come back all on their own. I did kind of sprinkle some seeds, but I didn't know if they would take, and sure enough they did. So this is a beautiful sunflower, and there is some kind of butterfly that's enjoying it, and I'm fine with that. Some kind of caterpillar. I'm not exactly sure which one. We have zinnias. There's another sunflower, and this is fall aster. That's going to be a purple bush. Look at all the sunflowers. Sunflower, 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 and all of these are zinnias, along with some nice little shamrocks, clover weeds, but everybody gets to stay in here. A big, big sunflower, more zinnias. So as soon as all of these start to bloom, I will definitely come back and show you how gorgeous it is. It looks kind of rough, but I like a very natural cottage garden type look, and boy, that's what I've got. And while I'm here, I have to spotlight my bluebonnets. Aren't they pretty? They just popped, the seeds popped last year, and I had them over in this spot right here in a nice fluffy soil garden bed, and they let me know that wasn't what they wanted. They preferred being in gravel or this hard mulch. So bluebonnets are a lot of fun. I highly recommend you throw some seeds out. Well, I really enjoyed my tulips this year. They were more of a late February, early March explosion of pinks and purples and yellows. I highly recommend you go back and look at those videos that I shot. It was just gorgeous. And I got my grandkids out here, and we took a lot of gorgeous pictures of them, had some friends over. So it was a wonderful, wonderful thing to plant. I got them from Color Blend, so they come from the Netherlands. They are certainly not native, and they are not perennial. They're just annuals, and they only last a short time, but it's something, a little extravagant pleasure that I enjoy doing for myself and for my family every year. But now it is time to pull them out. So tulips do not naturalize like my daylilies or my daffodils or my iris. So those are the ones I plant in the ground, and I enjoy them coming back every year, and they're just beautiful. Tulips is something that it's just a one and done. You plant them and then you pull them out. I have left them in the ground. I didn't believe it when people said that, if you leave them in the ground and you see what they do in the following spring, I you're not going to get much. Well, they are right. They were just horrible. There was hardly any flower. They were very deformed. So they definitely don't like the heat here. And even though this soil was a raised, amended bed, they just really don't like it. They prefer the Netherlands and the coolness and whatever the soil is like out there. So every year I just pull them up and close my eyes and just don't even think about it. Put it in the compost pile and plant new ones. Now, I am not sure whether I am going to do this again next year because I like to have these around Easter. Well, our temperatures got so hot so early this year that they got the message to open up and bloom. And so, like I said, it was late February, early March. Well, that wasn't anywhere near Easter. So they were a beautiful show and it didn't correlate. So I think I'm going to stick with the Texas natives like the iris and the daffodils. I'm just going to plant more of that, and they come back every year, and they're just gorgeous. But anyway, it's fun to try new things and experiment, and that was a fun experiment. I did that for about 3 years, but our climate has just gotten warmer and warmer, and it's just not something I want to do anymore. So I am going to pull these up, and then I am going to plant some zinnia seeds. That poor little Easter bunny statue doesn't really have anything pretty with it this year. So I definitely am going to write that down in my notes to have something here that wants the warmer weather earlier in the year. Okay, off to the compost pile with this and in with the zinnia seeds. Now the next thing I'm going to do is put in some fertilizer, and I really like the Espoma organic. This is plant tone, so this is just an all-purpose. It's good for pretty much anything. Let's see. The numbers are 533, so it's just a very, very light fertilizer, and it'll be just fine for those zinnias. So I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle some in, and then get the soil loosened up. The soil was just amended. I just put in several inches of good compost right before I planted the tulips in early January, so I don't have to worry. This soil is just going to be just fine. And zinnias are tough. They don't really care too much about really rich soil. Okay, here I go. I need to tell you what I'm planting. So this is a wonderful zinnia that is called the dahlia flower zinnia. It's not a dahlia at all, but it kind of gives you the dahlia feel because they're so big. And then this one is cactus mix, and it's got a kind of a spiny looking floral petal, which I just really love these. So I think these are going to be great. It's a mix of colors, and it'll just be a real pop of fun out here in the back. And it's, like a half an acre back here, so you need something really showy to bring you back to this part of the backyard. Okay, I'm going to start kind of working this ground. It's gotten really hard now. Kind of get it all soft, and then I'm going to sprinkle these in. I love this fork. I might not have told you about it, but it's a lady's fork. It's really not. It's a four-pronged fork. It's called a soil cultivator, and I just love this thing. So anytime you can find, if you're a lady and you want something lightweight, this works really well. And I shouldn't have said lady. Anybody can use this. The beds are all cleaned out and fertilized, and I am ready to plant my zinnia seeds. Now I'm going to read on the back and see what the depth and the separation is. So zinnia seeds like to be 6 inches apart and a 1/4 inch deep. And so I took my 2 different bags of zinnias and I just poured just, like a tablespoon of each bag, and I mixed them all up. And that's going to just be a lot easier than me trying to do every other one. And I'll just have a surprise when they grow. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to use a little, I have a little Sharpie that's kind of got a nice fat tip, and I'm just going to go in and I'm going to make holes every 6 inches and just a uh, very shallow 1/4 inch deep, and then I'm going to drop the seeds in. Okay, here we go. And then I'll water them in well and wait for the pests to come after them. I usually have to put some kind of neem oil or Captain Jack's powder on them because all kinds of insects think these baby zinnias are wonderful. Once they get up about 3 or 4 inches tall, everything seems to go better. Last year I did have a grasshopper visit, and they tried to take advantage, but then I got out the 7 dust, and that got rid of the grasshoppers. So you do what you have to do here in Central Texas to keep your flowers alive. Okay, here we go. So zinnias are very forgiving. So in case I, didn't get it deep enough or I got it too close, I'll just thin them out as I see them growing. So thank you so much for watching my video today. I enjoyed having you along with me while I did some spring cleanup. Thank you so much. And if you like this kind of video, please like and subscribe. And I would like to know how many of you plant some kind of flowers uh, by seed right about now, early spring, and how successful are you? So let us know. Have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you soon. Happy gardening. Bye-bye.